Have you ever realized that you are statistically impossible? Not unlikely, not rare, impossible. Because if a single second in history had gone differently, you wouldn't exist. Not a different version of you, not a weaker version, nothing. You would simply never have happened. And that's where this gets disturbing. Because most people walk through life assuming their existence was inevitable, as if they were always meant to be here. But biology tells a completely different story, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. Every person you've ever loved, every mistake you've ever made, every dream you've ever had, balanced on a chain of coincidences so fragile that reality should have erased you thousands of times. Yet somehow, it didn't. Think about your parents, not as parents, as two strangers moving through time. Imagine your father arriving 5 minutes later to a place. Imagine your mother deciding not to go somewhere. Imagine a different conversation, a different choice, a different day. You disappear, instantly. But that coincidence isn't even the beginning, because before your parents had to meet, your grandparents had to meet, and before them, their parents, and theirs, and theirs. A chain stretching backward through wars, diseases, famines, migrations, accidents, disasters, and impossible survivals. One broken link, one missed encounter, one unexpected death, and you vanish from existence forever. Here's the part most people never think about. Your family history isn't a story of success, it's a story of survival. For hundreds of thousands of years, every one of your ancestors managed to stay alive long enough to reproduce. Every single one. An uninterrupted chain, no exceptions. And somehow, it reached you. You are not standing at the end of human history. You are standing at the end of the longest survival streak ever achieved. And you didn't earn any of it. You inherited it. But even that doesn't capture how absurd this really is, because your existence wasn't decided when your parents met. It was decided in a microscopic race, a race involving hundreds of millions of cells. Only one succeeded. One. If a different cell had arrived first, someone else would be here, reading these words, living your life, thinking your thoughts, while you remained permanently unrealized, never born, never conscious, never anything. Most people think identity begins after birth. Neuroscience suggests something stranger. Your brain spends its entire life constructing the story of who you are. Memory is not a recording, it's reconstruction, a constantly edited narrative. The person you think you've always been is partly a story your brain keeps updating, which means something unsettling. The you protecting your identity today was assembled from countless accidents you never controlled, and yet you defend that identity as if it were inevitable. But what if it isn't? What if the identity you're fighting so hard to protect is built on randomness? That question becomes even stranger when we zoom out, because Earth itself almost erased you multiple times. Asteroid impacts, volcanic winters, mass extinctions, entire species vanished forever. Your ancestors didn't. Somehow, they survived every reset button nature pressed. The greatest miracle in your life isn't that you're special, it's that you're still here at all. And that's where the story takes a turn. Because when people hear this, they usually feel insignificant, tiny, accidental, meaningless. But the opposite may be true. Think carefully. Out of all possible humans who could have existed, you are the one experiencing reality right now. Not theoretically, not eventually, right now. You are the current endpoint of an unbroken chain stretching billions of years into the past. The universe has produced countless possibilities, yet somehow this specific awareness, this specific perspective exists, yours. Not because destiny selected you, not because fate guaranteed you, but because impossibility happened anyway. And maybe that's the realization most people spend their lives avoiding. You are neither fully chosen nor fully random. You are what happens when chaos succeeds, when coincidence survives, when probability refuses to collapse. And suddenly the question changes. Not why am I here, but something much stranger. After all the impossible events required to create you, what are you going to do with the brief moment that survived them? Because one day the chain ends, the story stops, the coincidence expires, and future generations will become the new endpoint, just as unlikely, just as impossible, just as temporary. So remember this, you were never guaranteed. You were never inevitable. You are the human who shouldn't exist, but does. And the fact that you're hearing these words right now is proof that impossible things happen every day.